There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
They talk about their cars, sing about their cars. Some people even look like their car. Whether it's an old car, new old car, fast car, family car, electric car, race car, two-wheel car, no-wheel car, or a car you know's parked around here somewhere. People who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small. Some people tinker some degree between those two variables.
Whose voice is that?
And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name.
It's Kevin.
Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super. Because super is our middle name. Well, technically it's our first.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Supercheap Auto East Coast V8 series, where we're just rolling out on our outlap for qualifying. We've got a cracking field tonight with us. I'm John Van Reed, flying solo tonight. Hope you're having a good time in the sun, enjoying yourself, Mark Duggan. We'll see you back in a couple of weeks. And of course, apologies for not being around the last few weeks due to my own personal work commitments. So tonight, we've got 200k race here at Winton. We'll have a quick look at the track. Pretty short, sharp and sweet, this place. As we head down in through the S's, through turn 1 and 2, up the rise through the old pit straight into 3, down through 4, through Kate's Corner. And then we come through the sweeping 5 into rollover corner 6, through Penrite, and then around the tree at 8, and then up into Truck Assist Corner, where you got to get it right to get some good acceleration, down into turn 10, then down into Hyundai Corner where the action happens, and then through 11 and 12 and back onto the pit straight. She's a short track. She's less than 3 kilometres, 12 turns, 1.86 miles. And it will be interesting to see how these boys all go today. As we jump on board with James Scott at the moment. He was the guy setting the cracking time in practice. So we'll just see how James can go here. Of course, the weather conditions for qualifying sees a cool track, 23 degrees, 20 degree ambient temperature. And of course, it's May 15th, 2023 is the date that we've used, and it is 10 o'clock in the morning. So beautiful autumn afternoon, pre-autumn morning at Winton. As James here looks like he's setting a reasonably quick time. As running down, around, heading now down to Hyundai Corner. And quite neat there as he comes out of turn 10. Big shout out to Pete Keller here in the chat as well, supporting the SSR boys. Of course, great to see Pete there. As James Scott's about to come across the line. Hobbo in the background going in, so obviously must have stuffed up his first lap. As James Scott ticks us up for the 1:18.499. Damien Johnstone in with a 1:19. Tim Mulford for Phoenix Racing up there pretty quickly there. Kenny Ludder. Zach McDonald, Ben Morris. Geez, some big names already throwing themselves up near the top of the table here. Craig Schultz into 4th. Looking for some interesting things. Very tight though. There's a few of these boys will be running back now towards the pack. As we just continue to tickle along here. James Chastaneef's done a reasonably good time as well. Put himself into 3rd. In the Banter Alliance Racing outfit. The big Bay 21 Coffee Beans logo on the bonnet. And of course, running the Vehicle Finance Solutions livery on the side. As James, of course, with the Vehicle Finance Solutions being also our safety car sponsor. So it's great to have them on board as well. Big shout out to Joshy Barella watching from home. It's good to have you back home, mate. Of course, Josh's been battling some illness for a little while, so it's good to have him back on board watching us. As we continue on, Ben Morris, James Scott in the pits at the moment. Ben Morris sitting in P2. Thomas Freeman's worked his way up to P3 by 0.001. That's a fair effort from Thomas Freeman here. As these guys here cracking along really well. As we have a look at Thomas Freeman, of course. Of course, one of the fishy young guns. Fairly quick out of the gates, this young bloke. And he's heading back into the pits on his in lap as well. I jump on with Michael Stewart, Hypersonic Racing, running different livery again, back in team colours. Quite good. Michael, one of the fast guys from Vets that comes and races in the East Coast Series. Of course, his teammate Scotty McCune in front of him in the green livery. Of course, for those regularly watching, they'll be used to the Hypersonic boys being in, of course, the orange livery that they ran last year. So a nice looking new livery for those guys. Might come back to Beef Cheeks. Michael Angus from Fishy Motorsport comes up around truck assist corner. Down to turn 10. Michael looking to improve his lap times a little bit. Where he started here. So continuing along. Through Hyundai, and he's into the pits as well. Might jump on board with James Scott. Looks like he's preparing here to get to a quick lap. We might ride on board and listen to the action. Until I find the right button. That lap at 1:18.204 increases his lead. Great little drive there for James. Great to jump on board and just really see how smooth and how direct he is. And really didn't look like he's putting much effort in. But no, that's the sign of a good driver. They make it look easy. That's what James has just done with that lap. So let's go back, have a look at some of the contenders where it's very tight. Damien Johnstone, 0.04. It's a gap he has. His little battle here with Kenny Ladder and James Chastaneuf. Of course, Chastaneuf making it into split one of Vets last week, on Sunday night, sorry. Hey, Chasty having an absolute cracking battle. But Damien Johnstone doing well. Might roll back a little bit. See how Harrison Dengate's getting on. He's not on track at the moment, so not sure what's going on there. And jump on with Warren Davis. It's the 007 himself. So Warren battling it out, 14th and 15th spot, trying to track down Michael Stewart. In front of him. Definitely an epic battle happening at the moment. Some very tight times. Scotty McCune, of course, he's only 0.047, so he's got some small gaps. Jordan Ross has been bundled out of the top 10. The boss of SSR at the moment looks like he's on an outlap. Not much time left. Reached the halfway point of this 20-minute qualifying session. Hey, Jordan, of course, Also known for his role in the Logitech G Pro Invitational Series. Also one of the Pro Invitational Series drivers as well. It's running the pink livery, so I'm not sure what the story is there. So someone will have to fill me in later. There's Jordan now on what should be a quick lap. You know, the curb getting out on the ripple strip here. Coming down nicely, cruises, heading down into Coates Corner. Gonna let it slide out, stay in third, let it run. And you got the big sweeper. Very tough. Got to look after the tyres, don't overdrive it. Then roll over. Change your direction. Well, they call it rollover corner. Someone having a bit of a run out the back there. It's come through Penrite. Come down around the tree. We come up through truck assist, and here's a fishy car. It looks like Troy Maguire. That's the way with a safe rejoin. Heading down, a couple of slow cars on the inside there. Looks like a bit of a SSR train. As Jordan comes through turn 10, starts lining up Hyundai corner. Only 2 to go. See what sort of lap time he can pump out on this one. Let's have a look at his time deltas between him and Michael Angus. As Jordan bumps himself up to P3. Did look like a good lap. Done very well there. So we might jump back to that other train of cars we're looking at as they start. This is the SSR train we were on a second ago. Well, one of the cars that was in it, Damien Johnstone. Comes past the clubby pits. Of course, Thomas Freeman's on an outlap now. Let's see if he can keep himself in front. Ben Morris be looking to bounce, get himself back in front of Jordan Ross as well. Definitely not a favourite track of these guys. This is going to be a difficult one for some of these boys. Of course, the boys today, we've got a track state for quali's 100%. The race will only be 75%. They all have one fast repair. Fuel is unlimited. So 200 Ks, unlimited fuel, and no compulsory pit stops. I think it's the old battle of, do you fill her up and try and make it last, or do you do a stop, make sure you got good tyres? Of course, this track does occasionally, particularly after the S's, can produce a safety car here and there. So it'll be interesting to see how we go tonight. Good to get the Vehicle Finance Solutions safety car out on track. A little bit loose there from Damien. Comes through the sweeper. And just all about the patience through this section of the circuit. Of course, these cars with the big V8 engines love to run, love to get going. Winton Circuit keeps them very well contained. While 200 Ks sounds like a sprint race, 200 Ks around this place is hard work in these cars because you don't get a break. You have very little time to grab a drink or check your settings or check anything else. Whereas Damien comes into the pits. Jump on with Hobbo. Our reigning champion. It's a little bit loose there coming onto the start-finish straight. Probably not the ideal solution to be doing. shout out to Matty Mescott, who's joined the chat as well. Of course, you are out there watching. Let us know you're supporting. Let you know how they get on. As we battle on here with leading to our last 5 minutes. Bobo didn't have the best entry coming out of turn 12 on this lap, so I'm just going to see if he can improve. That's better. Jamie McKnight's in the server. He's jumped in, so big shout out to the People's Champion. Snuck in here late, so it's good to get Jamie in here. We're not seeing too many purple sectors on track at the moment. Jordan Ross with a green sector. And sitting in third. So Roy Clark comes across the line, keeps himself in 23rd. Jordan Rossi looking like he's on another flyer. And Matty Mescott having a drop round. Fair enough. Not everybody loves this track. At the moment, James Scott, Thomas Freeman, Jordan Ross, Ben Morris hasn't made an indentation. Paul Young's got himself up into 5th in front of Damien Johnstone. Penny Ladder in 7th, Delaney in 8th, Chastanoof in 9th, a reigning champion in 10th, and Phoenix Racing's Tim Mulford in 11th. So, been a little bit of a shuffle here late at the end, as we only have about 3 minutes to go. So, I'd be expecting the top boys to be out in a second, getting ready. Give it a crack. Jordan Ross ducks in early. Jump on with James Scott. Comes down into Hyundai corner. He's into the pits as well. I suppose with a very short lap time, they can get in and get out and get a final lap in. Yeah, Pete, no Mark tonight. As Nathan Vets, Mark's having a little bit of a break. He's in Thailand, sending me lovely messages about how he's enjoying himself laying around in the sun instead of being here with us. So, yeah, I don't know which one I'd prefer, but I'd be here with us. No, just joking. Right, it's nice to be back anyway. Been in the last 2 weeks, I've been in Bathurst and Adelaide, so nice to be back home sitting in my own rig. There's Kenny Ladder here looking fairly quickish. Sorry, Jamie McKnight, sorry. There's jump back up the pointy end, Paul Young. Hobbo with a couple of green sectors. Let's just jump on where he is. As he's coming through turn 12. Shouldn't see what Hobson can do here. Can he get himself into the top 10? Gets into 4th. Well done. Bathurst, I was up there for work, Josh, so it was busy. That's all I can say. There, up there training some new staff members. It looks like no one else is setting any purple sectors at the moment. Of course, we'll be back up there in a couple of weeks for the Bathurst 6 hours. I'll go up to help out Dave Worrell from Race Control. campaigning a Mazda. Sorry, not a Mazda, sorry, a BMW up in the 6 hours, so that'll be an experience in itself. Yeah, Hobbo comes through turn 10. Only had the one green sector on this lap though, so I don't know whether it's going to push him up anymore. Giving it a good crack though. Of course, the flag's dropped here. Now the end of qualifying is up. Hobbo doesn't improve. Jump on with Blake Delaney. Chris Funky Miller's on a bit of a hot one. Let's see what Funky can do. Comes into the last corner. Great to see the Pecky Performance Racing car improve. Does he go up? Moves up one spot. Jump on with James Scott. He's just bailed out of this one, but he did have a purple sector for the sector 1. And nicely cruise over the line. And anyone else out on circuit at the moment? I think that's everybody done, I think. What we might do... Oop, that's James. So what we might do is just go to a quick ad break and we'll be back shortly with the start of the race.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
And people who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small, and that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name. Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super.
Cars are heading to the grid. So we want to have a quick look at the grid ourselves at the moment. So let's have a look at the grid. We have James Scott on pole, Thomas Freeman, and then we also have a mute button that's not working.
Tonight, 200k, 67 laps.
Bugger.
No compulsory pit stops. You got one.
Oh, we can just listen to Ash.
Incidents drive through every 20 incidents. Like the last few weeks, keep it clean, have fun, drive safe, and we'll see you on the other end.
So that's instructions from race controls. We look at Jordan Ross in third, alongside teammate Brenton Hobson. Paul Young in fifth with Damien Johnstone. Ben Morrison, Phase Motorsport in seventh. Jenny Ladder in eighth.
Also,
Blake Delaney
pit entry,
in ninth.
2 tyres must remain on the tarmac, minimum.
And Blake Delaney, chassis in the 10. Craig Schultz was 11th. Tim Mulford from Phoenix Racing is 12th. As we move along, Zach McDonald, Harrison Dengate from WK&P in 14th. Michael Angus 15th. Stewie in 16th. Scotty McCune in 17th. Warren Davis 18th. Dave Coleman from Fishy in 19th. Christian Smart from Synergy Sim Racing back in 20th. Chris Funky Miller in 21st. Dave Kirby from Fishy in 22nd. Jamie McKnight 23rd, just in front of Roy Clark. And then brings up after that Troy Maguire for Fishy Motorsports. And then we have Ash Barella in race control, Richard Barella as our safety car driver, and Dave Worrell as our second race control. That is our grid. So jump onto the car, get out of that view there. Find a better one. Oh, my camera's working. Some view there. Try that one. And of course, this will be interesting. It's a tough little track to get a good start at. So the boys will be working quite hard here to get themselves up and running. Keep an eye out on turns 1 and 2 through the S's. Usually plenty of action there during the start of a race at this place. So previously when we've been here, we've done sprints. Got to do it twice. We're only doing it the once tonight. Smallish field with only 25 runners. They probably expect these guys to spread out fairly quickly as they will knock these laps off. So just a reminder, it is a 200 kilometre race. They've got no compulsory pit stops. And I think you'll find they may need fuel at some stage. As we're about to get going. Waiting, gridding. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're away. Good little start there from Thomas Freeman. As he's got the jump on James Scott a little bit. James Scott takes the line into the corner though. Oh, Hobbo going sideways out the back. He's shuffled all the way down. I think he's gone to the outside of the circuit, so he's pretty safe. Everyone else has gotten through. They're not sure exactly what happened there. Probably a little bit of a tap. We'll come back to that in a minute. As we start to pick up the guys filtering out here. As we come through Coates Corner, side by side, Ladder and Justinov. As we all sort of start to settle down a little bit. Paul Young sitting up in 5th. Damien Johnstone has had a good start. He's up 2 spots already. As Paul Young goes off now. Seeing plenty of action. Youngie trying to get himself back on as most of the field goes by. So we'll try and pick up some of this action in a minute. Let's let everything settle down. So big mover at the moment. And there, Harrison Dengate up 5 spots. That's a great start for Harrison. So great little effort going on here. As we head down to Hyundai Corner for the first time. Our race leader, of course, is James Scott. James is going to lead the guys across the line. Already nearly out to a second lead from Thomas Freeman from Fishy Motorsports. Jordan Ross in third, sorry. Damien Johnstone 4th. Ben Morris, Kenneth Ladder, Chastaneve Delaney. Let's go back. See if we can unpack what happened to Brenton Hobson on that start. They caught a little bit wide, 3 wide situation, and a little bit of a net code there by the looks. And nice and safe, that one there. And the other man I wanted to have a quick look at was Paul Young from Banter Alliance. Looks like he's just missed his braking marker out in the sand, and around we go. So nothing too untoward with both of those. As James Scott carries on, Michael Stewart's now had an incident. And Paul Young, so that's entering pits. So I'm not sure what's happened to Michael Stewart and Dave Coleman. We're going to have a quick look at the Supercheap Auto replay there. This looks like coming into rollover corner. Flipping the curve a little bit into Penrite. Looks for the dive. Doors are closed.
Race control, car 919.
And that one being called in by Stewie at the moment.
Go ahead, 919.
As we continue on, back to live
Can you
pictures.
have a look at just before the boot, please, on lap 2?
Copy.
So that one called in, giving you the race chat experience tonight for something a bit different. Hobbo starting to fight his way back as he moves past Roy Clark here. Funky Miller on the grass in front of him. Continuing on. As we trying to make up the 18 spots, Roy Clark and Jamie McKnight have just had it coming together.
Car 3, go ahead.
Roy Clark gets a bit wide, comes off, McKnight follows him. Oh, gets a little bit of a follow the leader there. Very un-Jamie McKnightish. I don't think Jamie's ever followed Roy Clark, but there's always a first for everything. It's James Scott, only out to a 1.8 second lead at the moment. Thomas Freeman battling pretty hard with Jordan Ross.
Contact car 919, back to 2, redress
So looking really good there. Thomas Freeman battling away, he's still holding him out. Let's jump on with Jordan Ross. That's the view from the other angle. Big shout out to Mary Parker as well, watching Harrison. Young H up 5 spots already into the top 10. As you can see, Jordan not making any real impact into the Fishy Motorsports. Thomas Freeman. Damien Johnstone sitting behind holding station. Ben Morris here running in 5th. He's under a little bit of pressure from a previous race winner of the East Coast Series, Kenneth Latta. Kenneth now has opened up a little bit of a gap on James Chastaneath. He's starting to come under a little bit of pressure from Blake Delaney with the, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the blackfish. Whoa! Got a new colour fish out there. What do we call them? Platinum. The platinum fish. And Harrison Dengate nicely tucked up behind in the battle here with Blake Delaney. So H doing pretty well. It's continuing along very well, young H. Another guy who's been a big mover, of course, I expected, was Chris Smart. He's up 6 spots. He's under a little bit of pressure from Scotty McCune behind. And Warren Davis doing really well, up into 16th. So we might try and have a word with young Harrison a bit later. Ben Morris under a bit of pressure here, side by side with Kenneth Latta. Made a little mistake there somewhere. So Ben Morris. Oh, McKnight's moved up the inside. Oh, too wide. Chastaneath having a bit of a look in this battle now as well. This is about to get interesting. Oh, bouncing off the curves. This is not fast coming into the S's. Chastity gives him the tap. Morris is around. Morris is around. I was just saying, I reckon he was going to lose a bit of speed coming out. Chastaneath hasn't allowed for it. And around she goes. Dengate moves up into 7th. He gains 2 spots. Gets himself past the Blackfish with all the commotion that just went down. Blake Delaney tucks in behind. Don't underestimate Blake in a race like this. We're only still got 60 laps to go. Blake, the big fuel saver. Craig Schultz from 95 Sim Sports managed to tuck himself up behind in there. As well, Tim Mulford from Phoenix Racing. He's having a good look as well. These boys are all starting to bunch up again now. So it'll be interesting to see what race control comes out of that one. Might just have a quick look at that incident again on the Supercheap Auto replay. Just a subtle tap. Ben was a little bit loose already. Managed to keep it off the wall though, so he's pretty lucky in that sense. There shouldn't be too much damage. Car should be fine. And let's go back to the live picks. So move back up the front. Jordan Ross still battling away with Damien Johnstone behind. As the action definitely heating up now as we continue on. Only on lap 8, of course, of 67, so still a fair way to go. This is a bit more of a endurance race tonight for these boys, instead of our usual 100k sprint formats. Of course, want a big thank you to our sponsors that we have for this series as well. Barella Cabinets, Four Guys, of course Supercheap Auto, not to mention the West End Motor Group and Vehicle Finance Solutions, the sponsors of our safety car. Without these groups, there's not much we can do to make a series like this run for everybody. So we're very grateful of our sponsors. And of course, that is very important, everybody. Of course, when we do talk our banner sponsor, West End Motor Group. Remember, West End Motor Group consists of 2 Easy Finance, Parramatta Mazda, Parramatta Isuzu Utes, Parramatta Peugeot Professionals, Parramatta City Haval and GWM, or Great Wall Motors, Blacktown Mazda, Blacktown City Haval and GWM as well. So if you are in the Sydney market for a car, make sure you get on down to either Parramatta or Blacktown and check these guys out, because I'm sure they are more than willing to help you out like they're helping us out being one of our sponsors. So greatly appreciated. And of course, Vehicle Finance Solutions as well, if you're down in the Victorian area. Another one of our great sponsors. And if you're in Adelaide looking for a pool, hit up the pool guys. Might just back into this battle of the pack here. Harrison Dengate still tucked up behind James Chastaneve. Looks like the race is starting to settle a little bit. What we might do is we might do a little bit of trickery here, because we can. Young Harrison, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, it's actually going really good compared to what I expected. Yeah, 14th to P7 right now after 10 laps. That's a pretty good move up the field.
Pretty good. You've got Blake behind you. You sort of managed to get through that little scuffle there with Ben Morris without too much drama.
Yeah, I really benefited off it. I just took advantage of the whole situation and kept my foot in the bucket and ran around. Pretty good.
And what's the story from here, mate?
I'll just see how this race goes. I'm trying to use Paul here as a bit of a guide around this track, especially because of how much it wears out tyre. I'm just trying to be as consistent and smooth on the fall as I can be. And just, yeah, minimising tyre wear and focusing on the fuel.
Yep.
Trying to see how long I can get the tank out.
Yeah. Roughly, what lap time you reckon you're going to be, or what lap do you reckon you're going to be pitting, mate?
Well, looking at the length of the race, I'd suggest it to be out of two mandatory pit stops. Is that correct?
No compulsory stops.
Yeah. So, right, so there is none. Because if it is 2, which I'm going with, basically, I'm splitting it into an even split of 22 laps, 222 lap stints and 123, which will probably be my middle.
Yep.
With about a 5 lap lenience during the pit stop, depending on what Paul and Blake do behind me.
Yep.
It's just going to be a strategy of save the fuel, don't be the first car in the group because you're going to be used, and just use everybody else to help you gain time, gain fuel advantage, and yeah, benefit really in the last pit stop.
Yep, no, it sounds like a good strategy, mate.
That's good.
Well, hang on to it there.
Yeah, nah, she's a bit loosey-goosey, but hey, just got to work with it.
Yeah, you timed that well when I went onto the cockpit view.
Yeah. Nah, she's fine. If I just do a couple of changes, you know, brake bites and all that good stuff, should be a little bit smoother. But just got to work the car into the track now, and we'll see how we go.
That sounds good, mate. What we might do is, we might do the nice thing and leave you alone.
Yeah, all good.
Good luck, mate. Might come back and talk later if you get a safety car.
Yeah, let's hope.
No worries. See you, mate.
See ya.
There you go. Very cool, calm and collected young Harrison. Plenty of time to talk to us. Not an easy gig to do that. Of course, we're on lap 13 now. Sitting on this battle for a little bit. We might go back, have a look a bit further back, see how Ben Morris is recovering. This looks like he's fighting his way back through, up into 15th, putting pressure on Scotty McCune. Of course, Ben down 8 spots, caught up in that little tap from earlier. And go back a little bit, Dave Coleman battling away with Jamie McKnight, the old People's Champion, having a bit of a cracker here. Local power saying sounds like Harrison was on a Sunday drive. Definitely did. Very cool, calm and collected. There's the race starting to spread itself out a little bit at the moment. I think sort of a couple of battle packs. James Scott, our race leader, of course, he is well and truly out there. James running very well. As click on the static cams, fancy. James having a good drive through here. He's up a fair few spots. James, start again. He's up a few seconds. He's now out to a 3.8, nearly 4 seconds ahead of Thomas Freeman. Thomas Freeman, of course, has managed to get clear of Jordan Ross by about 3.5 seconds as well. He still has Damien Johnstone tucked up behind him. And that looks a bit like a bit of a team train happening there. About 2.5 seconds back from these guys is Kenny Latta. So Kenny's managed to pull away a little bit from James Chastaneve. So Chasty, of course, is another 3 seconds back again. And then after that, we've got Harrison Dengate. So that's that little battle we've been following. Dengate, Delaney. Then we drop down onto Schultz from 9.5 Sim Sports. Tim Mulford going a little bit across country. Plenty of grass out there to run off, so he's pretty safe. And Scotty McCune getting through here as well. We might just have a look and just see what happened to Timmy on the Supercheap Auto replay. And just a little bit hot. Which is a tough corner if you get in there just that little bit too hot. Car wants to be throwing itself off the track. As we jump back on with Warren Davis now. Back on live pitches. Warren in a little bit of a battle. Sim Mulford, Ben Morris. Now these boys battling away quite well. Of course, Brenton Hobson fighting his way back from the turn 1 incident on lap 1. He's tucked up behind these boys. Having a look up the inside of Davis, gets it done. Starts eyeing off now Scott McCune. Having a look. Nicely gets it done on Scotty McCune. Next man in front now is Ben Morris. Of course, Ben, another one trying to recover from the incident early. So Hobbo driving like a man on a mission. You're on the chat over there on his Twitch feed. Interesting to see how cool, calm and collected Hobbo is tonight. Is Hobbo a regular streamer on Twitch? Alford running Phoenix Racing, one of the new guys in the series this season. Of course, Tim's no slouch either. Standard of driving this evening. Might take an opportunity to slip in a quick ad from, of course, our sponsor, Supercheap Auto.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
And people who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small. And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name. Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super.
Hey, Tim Mulford's still working very hard here. So we might jump up to the other battle up in front of this, of course. Zach Morris, another one of the 9.5 Sim Sports young guns in this series. With Beef Cheeks, Michael Angus sitting behind him for Fishing Motorsports. Christian Smart from Synergy Sim Racing. Starting to get a couple of good little battle packs happening up and down the track at the moment. Oh, something's happened. Oh no, it's Roy Clark going in the pits. We got SDK is in off track crash when you go in the pits, which is a little bit disappointing. It's me all excited for nothing. So, Hobbo making the move on Ben Morris, coming through truck assist corner. The turn 10, Morris with the right of way. Hobbo hung out the dry. Of course, this allows Scotty McCune to get back into the battle. And of course, Warren Davis up the back of Scotty McCune. So all happening along here. back up in this battle with Michael Angus. Still holding off Christian Smart. Harrison Dengate still has Blake Delaney behind him. Jordan Ross still has Damien Johnstone behind him. So everyone holding station a bit here as we tick over lap 19. Or on the start of lap 19. So James Scott is about 3.5 seconds up the road from Thomas Freeman. Jordan Ross is further 5 seconds back. Damien Johnstone 0.4 behind him. Such a busy little circuit to drive this one. As Clark comes in the pits. Sorry, Mulford's in the pits. Of course, it's a good circuit for the undercut if you think you're being held up by people. We heard from Harrison Dengate earlier that some guys are going to possibly think about doing 2 stops here tonight. Of course, if you're following along at home in the chat, let us know your support. You got any questions, let us know. All happening with this little battle here, Jordan Ross and Damien Johnstone. Might go down the back, pull Dave Coleman. Still battling away with Jamie McKnight. There's still a couple of battles around the place. Of course, Dave, one of the race control guys from Split 2 in Vets. Great to see people in the community giving back as well. Not really making an indent. Chris Funky Miller in front of these boys. He's doing really well too. Of course, Tim Mulford's the only guy we've seen make that first pit stop. Kenny Ladder's had an off track. Let's see what's happening again. Go Supercheap Auto replay. Going a little wide, wheel on the grass, gets control. Won't lose too much on that. Yeah, everyone agreeing with me. Agreeing with Matty as well on that one. Boys need something to liven up. And it's Jordan Ross, Damien Johnstone, still battling away. And we might go back to Angus for this battle pack here. These boys all looking a little bit racy. He's only a third of the way through the race, so it looks like most of these boys are just starting to settle themselves in here, trying to save fuel, look after tyres. Won't be there at the end, so to speak. Might move forward a little bit more to Harrison Dengate. Of course, he's got Blake Delaney behind him. Blake now running with what I think is a blackfish. Wondering whether the blackfish of the family is the same as the black sheep of the family. Any fishy supporters out there, let us know. These guys look like they're fairly well settled as well. We might chop back, see how our old mate Brenton Hobson's getting on. Looks like he's still tucked in behind Ben Morris. Did try that move, was unsuccessful. Continue on. Dave Kirby's had a little bit of an off track. Might just suss out what's happened to Kirby. Another one of the fishy boys. Oh, around she goes. Indicates corner into the wall. Don't think too much damage there. As gets it going again. So it's a track, you got to be precise. What we might do is we might continue a series of interviews. We might jump down in race control and say good day to the boys. Hello, race control. How's it going?
Not too bad.
Not too bad at all. Of course, we've had P3, P4 swap at the moment. Dan Gates gone into the pits. Damien Johnstone's got past Jordan Ross, so Jordan wanting to probably get in that arrow as Kenny Ladder bunches up a little bit as well. These boys getting into that arrow package here, trying to slipstream a bit more. So a little bit of argy-bargy early on, guys.
Yeah, there's a little bit of neck cut in a lap 1, turn 1 incident. Other than that, been pretty clean.
I don't know what,
Pretty good clean racing.
don't know what you guys saw in that one, but I had one car completely inside the other car.
Yeah, that's what we saw.
Biggest we've ever seen, I think.
That's the worst I've seen, yeah.
And the innocent bystander on the outside hobbo just got nothing out of the way and had to start from last.
It comes down to everybody likes to be inside of somebody.
Oh, dearie me. So, definitely, I've not too much more going on. I think the boys are all starting to make their first stops. Interesting to see how a few of these guys go if they try to stretch this out.
It'll be interesting to see what they do because it is only there's no compulsory pit stops tonight, so it's an all-out sprint race and see what strategies they come up with and all we got enough.
Car wide.
Who's that? Craig Schultz. Let's have a look at Supercheap Auto replay. He's off on the grass there. That's down in on Hyundai corner. Gets it back on safely without getting anyone's way. Looks like he has. That's a nice, neat re-entry. Not sure how he got out there though. Might just try again. And just in a bit too deep, I think. That's all it took. Yeah, definitely some battles around still. Michael Angus, good old beef cheeks, still tucked up behind Zach McDonald. Christian Smart in this little battle pack. Morris and Hobson.
Bit of a quiet field tonight, but hopefully a few more boys come back back into the season.
Yeah, I think there's a few Matty Mascord decided to take this as a drop round. I think a few boys are between vets and officials. Sorry, between vets, scops and officials. I think they're probably a little bit Wintoned out.
It's one of those tracks that a lot of drivers don't like, but you know, it's one of those challenging tracks as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. Christian Smart right up the backside of Mike Angus there.
Yeah, if you're not a finesse driver, you're going to struggle around Whitney.
Definitely. Season 6 entries to open also, Johnny, so
Yep.
we'll see if we get any.
Oh, here we go.
Season.
It's having a look. Go through truck assist corner. Can he get the power down? This is going to get interesting. Coming down into turn 10, he's going to have a crack.
Oh,
How'd they get through there?
open low.
Very well driven.
We're not done yet. Wow, these guys are doing really well. I'd be ducking into the pits too.
Good call, Uncle Angus?
Chevy Jones, no, I don't remember Dick Johnson's comments about racing around Winton. Interesting. I was trying to think what they were. I don't think they were very favourable of the track, if I remember correctly, though. Of course, when Dick Johnson was running Winton, that was back in the old club days, not the old club circuit, not the national circuit. Yeah, it's like running a marathon around a clothesline, yeah. These boys here having a cracking battle here in this mid-pack. Dak McDonald, young 9.5 Sim Sports driver, doing an awesome job here, taking the pressure from the likes of the likes of Chris Smart, Morris, Hobson behind him. Yes, here we go again, driving the defensive line in the Hyundai. Looks like Chris Albo's going to the pits. Still too wide through turn 12. Morris is... Oh, Jesus! I didn't know where Morris was going to go then. Oh, this is great driving from these guys. Oh, he's coming back at him. No. What? Of course, Dave, I've got you in the box, mate. As these guys still tackling away. He, Oh, he's off.
Craig.
And Warren Davis getting into the mix of it as well.
A little bit of grass cutting.
Let's have another quick look at that. Craig's off. Straight. Something you shouldn't do on Saturday, Dave, when you're down there?
Oh, you know, just let the arse end hang out. Throw some grass out. Why not? Apparently someone's just told me I'm going to look good in their mirror from the weekend, so I just told them, don't remember. First tap's a warning, second tap they're off.
So somebody's told you you're going to look good in their mirror.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's comes pretty good from a Honda driver.
Even more wow. Well, at least you're driving a German-made car.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a scary side.
Of course, for anyone who doesn't know, Dave's running in the New South Wales State Championships down at Winton, of all places.
We decided to move the border, you know, about an hour into Victoria this weekend only.
Well, technically, during the lockdowns of COVID, Winton was in the border bubble.
That's all right then.
Almost a tap there from Davis. Might jump back up the front. James Scott is under a little bit of pressure.
And that
Thomas
brings
Freeman's
us to
caught
the
him.
point that New South Wales are closing all their tracks.
Don't get me started.
Yes. Well, it's an issue, isn't it?
A major issue.
Well, there we go. Just a little bit of inside knowledge from the Bernie Eccleston of BAR. Sorry, I'll rephrase that. The Flavio Brigatore of BAR, Chevy Jones. Apparently, Roy Clark can smell smoke. So he's pulled over. He's left.
Is that because it's a little hot under the collar?
Could be. Could be. This is a little battle
Yeah,
here.
that or Roy's hard on the gear.
Could be that too. Could have been the battle he had with Jamie McKnight earlier. I could have got him a little bit hot under the collar. of course, I was about to say that, Chevo, where Roy lives, of course, is on the base of the Blue Mountains. So it's kind of not a spot where you really want to smell smoke.
That's not good.
No, so just for those playing along at home, I've just looked at the RFS app. It's all pretty good where he is. If anything, he's probably getting a bit of smell of smoke from a fire that's down around Black Springs, sort of south of Oberon. So that might be blowing up the Blue Mountains way. So hopefully that's the story. But yeah, in that part of the world, you smell smoke, go in the panic mode. Of course, don't forgetting the fires I had in the Blue Mountains in 2020. Pretty significant.
And everywhere else.
Yeah, well, everywhere else.
We were surrounded by it.
Yeah, pretty scary stuff.
I tell you what, when I was up at the Nude State Forest where the Zigzag Railway was on the weekend, and it's still pretty bad up there.
Yeah. If it's a super hot...
Like it's come back really well, but
Yeah.
there's still a lot of dead trees and shit out there.
You come down into Victoria, where they've had the fires go through the mountain ash, and particularly when it was the hot canopy fire, the firestorm situations, and the mountain ash just hasn't come back. Blake Delaney has gone into the pits, so that will make it interesting. Jordan Ross has gone in as well. Just starting to see some of these boys make their stops. Ben Morris has gone in. Jordan Ross has gone in. Entered the pits. Michael Stewart. Yeah, so starting to see these boys, I think, that are planning the one stop now starting to come in, I think.
The battle of the fronts got down to 0.4 of a second.
Yeah, definitely closed up a little bit. I think.
Whoa! Got a bit of touch there.
Yeah, who was that?
No, it was Dave Kirby and someone else.
I
I don't know, Young, I think it was.
hasn't shown up in my list.
And again, turn one. What?
It looks like Young's got caught out of that one. As Tim Mulford now gets past Youngie as well. It's shuffled him back in this pack here.
Turn 1, lap 32, there was 3 cars wide into turn 1. 4 Youngs off track.
Yeah, I might have a quick look at what I replay for that one. There we go. 3 wide, a little bit of a tap, straightened up, all straightened each other up. Looks like Dave Coleman's in the thick of it there, or Dave Kirby, one of the two. One of the Fishy Motorsports cars.
Dave Kirby, I think.
So those boys did well, though, not to clean each other up there. Now, of course, we haven't seen the Vehicle Finance Solutions safety car this evening either. This is the battle pack here where these guys have all stopped. So basically from Damien Johnstone down, all the guys have stopped. Interesting strategy choice by the boys up front to go the one stop. See how it plays out before the end of the race. Oh, I'm going to leave these boys to do some work.
Rightio, Johnny, have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Thanks.
There you go. Thought I'd better not sit in there while they deliberate on decisions.
Lap 32, turn 1.
Youngie calling in the incident we watched a minute ago. You can see Thomas Freeman nicely tucked up behind here. Zach McDonald tucked up behind these boys as well. Of course, Zach is a lap down. So one of the joys of Winton is it's being such a short lap. You can get yourself in all sorts of trouble going a lap down just for the quick pit stop. So Zach would be sitting there with fresh tyres, not fuel saving. These two boys in front are obviously fuel saving up to the wazoo. Trying to look after the tyres as Thomas Freeman's first to blink. Freeman's in. So to steal a line from F1, Mr. Scott, it's hammer time. You see how this plays out. Keep an eye on that one. Of course, the other one I want to keep an eye on is Damien Johnstone, how he comes out with Freeman. So Freeman up on the jacks at the moment. Still in the pit lane. Come back to Johnstone. Coming through turn 10. Thomas Freeman still on the jacks. Chris Smart's in. Warren Davis is in. Thomas Freeman starting to roll out. Damien Johnstone only coming through Hyundai. So I think you'll find Freeman will still be quite well in front here as he turns through the S's. So that settles that one down. So James Scott still running out in front without pitting. James Chastaneath in the Banter Alliance still sitting there in second. Troy Maguire from Fishing Motorsports up 22 spots at the moment in third. But these boys still have to pit. We might just have a quick look at what lap everyone's pitted. So Thomas Freeman actually went in on lap 34, as we just talked about. Looks like Maguire's rolled into the pits as well, I think. As James Scott's now in. Troy Maguire, I think, might have had an off, maybe. Oh, it's running through my notes. Not sure what happened there, but anyway, carry on. As Maguire goes in, leaving James Chastaneath is the only car on track not to have pitted. And Craig Schultz as well. And Jamie McKnight. So interesting strategy roll by the boys here. Lap 36 of 67. Chasty working his way here. On the lap, Michael Stewart. Okay, some good driving by these two guys. As Chasty now peels off. Jump back up, Thomas Freeman. James Scott has come out behind Freeman, which is interesting. Very interesting. I wonder whether James has taken on more fuel.
After no further action.
James Scott now. Some pressure on Craig Schultz. Gets the job done. Chastaneath and McKnight into the pits. Craig Schultz is pitted now, so just about going to start to see the race settle itself back down. What we will call the final third, the last 27 laps, or 37 laps at the moment. 30 laps at the moment, sorry. Good little battle here with Jordan Ross. Tucked right up behind Damien Johnstone. And Schultz peels off into the pits as we expected. Of course, these two boys ran very close together for quite a fair time in the first half of this race. Of course, Damien's 8 seconds behind James Scott, who's 4 seconds behind Thomas Freeman. So it'll be interesting to see. Might have a quick look at pit stop time, or pit time as we call it. So we can see Freeman had taken on 5 seconds less fuel than what James Scott has. So we can see how that hampers him. Alford only took on 15 seconds, 16 seconds. He's probably thinking of us another stop, I would say. And Gate took on 22.5. Delaney on 18.5. I think we're going to be in for a really interesting fuel strategy as we get towards the end of this race. As we just flick to the pit strategy now, so you can just see when everyone did pit. The Freeman on 34, 35 for Scott. Bulford, as we said, went in on 19. Chastity went all the way out to 36 laps. So you can sort of see they're all fairly spread there in the top 20. Oh, a little bit over the ripple strip. James Scott's still slowly closing up on Thomas Freeman, not doing it in a hurry. Freeman's probably actually maintaining it at about 4 seconds. They might jump back in that Ben Morris battle. Of course, Ben caught up in a few things earlier on. Tucked in nicely behind Chris Smart at the moment, who is tucked in, of course, with Michael Angus in front of him. So these boys battling away quite well here in a nice little 3-car battle. Check out our other man, Harrison Dengate. He's up 7 spots in 7th. He's under a fair bit of pressure from James Chaston, who's behind him. Of course, Timmy Mulford just in front of these guys. It's chassis with the big Bay 21 coffee beans logo on the bonnet there. Then get a bit loose. I'd say Chastity's going to get through here too wide as we head down into Coates. Still too wide going through Coates. And Delaney licking his lips here to get in the battle as well. Dengate with the slower exit out of the corner. And the Blackfish goes to dive in the pen right, gets the job done. Dengate comes back at him around the tree. Dengate slips in front of him there going into truck assist. So good little bit of driving there from young Harrison. And a wise old head on Blake Delaney's shoulders as well. Because these two battling like this is opening the door up for the one and only Brenton Hobson to get back into the battle. Brenton down 6 spots at the moment in 10th after being punted off, not punted off, being net coded off in turn 1 on lap 1. That's been a reasonable recovery drive from dead last. As might jump back on Ben Morris. Another little battle going here as we come onto the start-finish straight through turn 12. Side by side heading down into the S's. And gets the job done. Some good respectful driving there from the boys. What we like to see. And might just go a bit further back. Have a bit of a look. Our Our mate from Quantum Pecky Performance Racing, Chris Funky Miller's getting on. Hey, Chris is in 21st, level pegging where he started, so not a bad effort there. Might jump back up with Tim Mulford, who's under a little bit of pressure from a very loose James Chastaneef. Hey, Chasty there manages to pull it up though, keeps it on the track. So of course, Timmy, one of the teammates with the young gun Rayon Leonage. Oh, a bit loose there from Chasty. Well, I open the door up for Dengate a bit more. Through the big sweeper. Roll over into pen right. Around the tree. Truck assist. Of course, track temps is only 27 degrees, so it hasn't warmed up a hell of a lot from qualifying. Boys still battling quite hard here. Brenton Hobson now up behind Dengate. Nice little overtake from our series champion. Might go back again. Have a look at Delaney, the old Blackfish. Good little battle here, a little bit of working quite hard in front as well. Boys have bunched up a bit. Mulford dropping back a few. Mulford going in for his second pit stop. We thought Mulford might have been on a different strategy to the rest of these boys. And Craig Schultz has had a little off track. Let's have a look what's happened to the 9.5er. Oh, he's clipped the sand, lost control, manages to pull it up. Having a little bit of trouble with the old Coates corner tonight. I think that's the second time I've seen him in a little bit of trouble there. As we go back to live picks. So Timmy Mulford's back out in 20th, so keep an eye on him as he charges back through the field. Let's jump back up on Chasty. Chasty under a fair bit of pressure from Hobson now. Thomas Freeman, that gap's closed down to 2.5 seconds to James Scott. James, of course, is 12, well, nearly 13 seconds ahead of Damien Johnstone, who's just ahead of Jordan Ross and Kenny Latta. A good little battle happening back there. And we're on lap 45 of 67, so we might take the opportunity to throw to a quick broadcast ad break, thanks to Supercheap Auto.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
And people who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small. And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name. Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super.
Yeah, big thank you to all of our sponsors, of course. They are the ones that make the Supercheap Auto East Coast V8 series work. For Supercheap Auto, Roller Cabinets, the Pool Guys, Vehicle Finance Solutions, and West End Motor Group. Big thank you to you guys for making this happen. So continue plugging along here. Lap 46 to 67. Thomas Freeman about 2.5 seconds ahead. We might go back to where some of the action is. Might go check out our champion Hobson as he hunts down James Chastaneef in front here. Hobbo's starting to look a bit more racy here. He'd be hoping to get himself up in front of Chastaneef and probably looking for a safety car after that to get back into the battle up front. Of course, awesome car control from these boys. Hobbo definitely throwing everything at it here. See, Winton, very difficult track. Get the run on somebody to get the job done. Straight's not quite long enough. You're working extra hard. Chastity driving well here. Just jump there and have a look at Blake Deloney and Dengate. That battle's starting to hotten up a little bit more. Still a long way to go though. Only on lap 49 or 67. Yeah, young Zach McDonald doing well, sitting in 13th. Just to fight his way back. Jordan Ross still battling away with Kenneth Ladder now. Damien Johnstone's managed to get out in front of him by 2.5 seconds as Ladder goes through with a big brake lock up. So, interesting battle here. And might drop back. Have a look at a battle back here, of course. Warren Davis. Just talking about Zach McDonald a second ago. Warren battling with Zach here. And, of course, Dave Coleman from Fishing Motorsports trying to get into the action as well. You know, a good little three-car battle going on this far back in the pack, which is great. Let's have a quick look at what happened to Chris Funky Miller as Jordan Ross goes in for a second stop, which is interesting. There's Chris Funky Miller coming through the sweeper. He's only going to get to roll over. He's going to take the lawn mowing job and gets himself back on the track. Interesting by Ross going into the pits. So might be expecting something to happen here that we're not sure about. Of course, Ross is not on my board, so I can't show it. Right, definitely a few boys battling away. Zach McDonald doing well. He's up one spot now, thanks to the pit stop of Ross. Only a couple from outside the top 10. Warren Davis looking very racy though. Another one of the Bay 21 coffee logos on the BAR cars. Night on the radio, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Might just quickly have a look. What is going on with Jamie? I was looking a second ago. He's up 6 spots in the 17th, which is a great drive. He's battling away at the moment with Troy Maguire. Might just jump back up on this battle here. This looks like it's about to get racy. Oh, Warren Davis. Oh, he's hit Coleman as well. I think Craig Schultz is involved in something as well in this one. Let me just try and get Supercheap Auto replay up on all this. That's Davis in front. So what did Schultz do? Schultz just did the pits run.
Look
Yep.
at flat 51 coming down the main straight. Car in front of me just constantly changing their line and blocking.
Tap, tap, and around.
Copy, we'll have a look.
So race control being called into that one as well. We'll leave that up for them to work that out. So poor old Dave Coleman shuffled right back to 23rd now. So looks like he's struggling to get the car going, to be honest. He's going to get out of there, I think. Doing the right thing, waiting for some open track. As we'll jump back on with James Chastaneve. He's still battling away with Brenton Hobson behind him. I saw Jordan Ross said then as well, so something going on with him maybe. And Blake Delaney still punching away behind Dengate. Keep an eye on these guys, lap 52 of 67, so the clock's ticking down now. Just to get a bit of an insight on some of these fuel strategies. Delaney looking a bit more racy. Look, Delaney's got the little legs at the moment, but still a long way to go, even though it's only just over 10, just over 14 laps. But tyre wear will come into it, and I think these boys are all going to be stretching the fuel tank, I think, a little bit. Double check on chassis, still under pressure from Hobbo. Gap out front's busted out to 3 seconds now. So our race leader, Thomas Freeman. Definitely being superior tonight as the Kingfish on track at the moment. Dave Coleman involved in something else. We might just have a quick look what's going on there. Supercheap Auto replay. I think he's just keeping out of everyone's way, I think. It's getting a little bit off on the grass. Finding the fence. It's a fair old crunch. Hobbo looking a bit more racy now. Great little battles there, and the other battle on track is Dengate. Delaney will keep an eye on these two battles as we might go down. It's Christian Smart as well. He's battling away with Michael Angus in front of him. Of course, Beef Cheeks is up 5 spots. Christian Smart is up 9. So these boys battling it out to get that last spot in the top 10. So a couple little battles still. Oh, a little bit loose there. Open the door up, and that is how you get past Michael Angus. A little bit hot, managed to pull the car up, but unfortunately, it takes a very minor mistake in this league to have someone get past you. Let's jump back onto the Dengate battle. He's under a lot of pressure. From Delaney now. Delaney obviously has the fuel reserves and looking to get the job done. So a bit of an eye on young Harrison here. See if he can handle the pressure. Of course, young Harrison getting himself into the Logitech Pro Series. A great little job from this small team at WK&P to get 2 cars into that series this year. Awesome effort. A lot of hard work put in from Harrison and from Blake Warboys as well. So big thank you to Blake for helping H out with the qualifying series. Of course, as Macy's know, the team's filled up. Has quite a few old vets drivers in it, but definitely always happy to take anyone who's keen to have a crack, show a bit of pace, particularly here at the East Coast. Oh, Blake Delaney a little bit lock up there in the background. Ben Morris starting to close up on these boys too. So this race is not over yet. Only got 11 laps to go. Keep an eye on a few of these battles. Might jump back up on that Chastity battle. Don't know whether Hobbo's got anything for him here. Of course, James Chastaneuf managed to get into split one of Scops on Sunday night at this track. So the boy can drive here after winning split 2. And Michael Angus still running back there. And jump up back to Thomas Freeman, just have a bit, look up the front, get a bit of a sit rep. Freeman's about 3.5 seconds. He's managed to pull away again a little bit from Scott. Scott's about 18.5 ahead of Johnstone. It's been a great drive from Thomas. And Kenny Ladder is a further 4 seconds back. Another 7 back to Chastity. He's got Hobbo right up behind him. Another 10 seconds back to Delaney. So some interesting battles. The other guy I want to keep the eye on, of course, is Timmy Mulford, one of the two stoppers. He's blasting his way back through here at the moment. He'd have the fresher tyres. He looks up the inside of Troy Maguire, not quite getting the job done. Boys looking quite racy as well. There's a few little gaps here, all within sort of 6 or 7 seconds. Michael Stewart battling away with Paul Young in front of him as well. Young was on fresher tyres as well, I believe, after making 2 stops. Might jump back up with Dengate. Dengate, that gap's closed right down now to under 2.5 seconds. Sorry, 0.25 seconds. I reckon Delaney's throwing everything at this, but the kitchen sink. Great pressure driving from Blake Delaney. Managing not to create contact. Dengate working his little backside off here to try and keep the Blackfish behind him. Here we go, Delaney having a look. Morris getting in this battle now as well. Delaney's hung him out the dry. And Warboys, start again, sorry. Dengate drops 2 spots in that manoeuvre there, unfortunately. See if he can come back now once he gets himself resettled. Keep an eye on that battle. Jump back on the Jordan Ross. He's tucked right up behind Michael Angus. The Fishy Motorsports car under all sorts of pressure. Of course, Jordan Ross made 2 stops. As Mulford's got past. Oh, that was a bit of an interesting one. Jump back up, Scotty McCune. Scotty McCune battling with Zach McDonald here. Jamie McKnight sitting in the back. Jamie up 8 spots. Of course, Jamie sitting back here watching this battle unfold in front of him. Because Jamie would be thinking to himself, here we go, Zach's off. That puts Jamie through. As well as Scotty McKeon, so a bit of pressure driving there, unfortunately. Young Zach, I think he just drove himself up. It's a little bit too much pressure. A little bit of curb there, unbalanced the car as well. So very, very tough. Continue on.
Direction with car 13 down the main straight. There is a 10-point post-race penalty for car WK&P.
And we might just quickly jump down, have another quick chat with young Harrison. How are you, H?
Yeah, I'm good. A bit tired, but yeah, I'm going good.
So it looks like Blake just definitely had a lot more pace. Looks like he saved a bit more fuel than what you had as well.
Yeah, I think I've also just gone the wrong strategy. I haven't been able to get the car working. I feel like just, yeah, I was really used to the Pro Series where it was a mandatory two-stop strategy.
Yeah.
And just going back into this series, it's kind of just stuck my head around a bit. So, we learn. We'll move on to the next one.
That's right, mate. You're still in the top 10. You're up 5 spots.
Yeah.
Not many laps to go. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Absolutely, mate. Keep your head down. Keep Chris in the mirror behind.
Yeah.
You know, Ben's in front battling with Blake, so you know, just be ready to pounce if something happens there.
Yeah, I'll try to. My tyres are indeed like 40 laps old, so I'll see what I can do.
No worries, mate. I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, all good.
No worries. See you, mate.
See ya.
There you go, young H. But anyway, while we're doing that, Scotty McCune had an incident, so we go Supercheap Auto replay set up in the Scotty. And it's like a little bit of a tap there from McKnight, I think. So anyway, that one's interesting. Let's see what happens to that one. Lead that one up to race control. Now we might just check in with our race leader, Thomas Freeman, as he starts lap 64. Sorry, lap 63. Been a great drive from Thomas. Managed to keep James Scott behind him. I think Fishy fans out there will be very happy with this result so far. Of course, he's got to have enough fuel on board to get those last 4 laps in the bag. It's tickling along. We might go back a couple of little battles still. Timmy Mulford on those fresh tyres is coming back through. Back a little bit. About to put some pressure on Scotty McCune and Zach McDonald. Of course, Jamie McKnight just in front of this little group. Timmy Mulford all over the back of Scotty here. Of course, Scotty has Zach McDonald just in front of him. Mulford, pressure tyres, getting a bit of a run on here. As I said before, Winton's not quite big enough. We can get the deed done most spots. So Dengate had Christian Smart catching up behind him quickly, and here he is. Of course, Jordan. Oh, Harrison loses it on his own. That's not a good one for the young fella. Have a quick squeeze at that, just a little bit cooked tyres. Smoked it up as well to get out of the way. Nice driving from Christian Smart to keep out of the way. And of course he's lost spots there to Ross Angus.
Sorry, Scott.
course, Christian Smart now under a fair bit of pressure from Jordan Ross. Another one of the two stoppers. Jordan getting the job done pretty quickly. Smart move from Christian, let him through. Of course, Jordan's still got to make up another 6 spots to make up to where he started. Lap 65, 67, getting towards the pointy end now. Looks like everyone's starting to settle down a bit more again. Freeman's definitely got that out to a 5-second lead now. Bit of lap traffic to contend with as well for the race leader, as he's now lapping everyone up to 18 and 17. Scotty McCune. And past what's in Mulford. Young latching onto the back of these boys as well. Little group there fighting towards the end. Blake Delaney still under a bit of pressure from Ben Morris behind. Jump on board with Thomas Freeman, flashing his lights there as he starts the final lap. See how he's dealing with a bit of lap traffic. These boys battling in front of him, of course. Yoon and Young. A couple of wily old vets there. Young getting past Scotty. Scotty now keeping out of the way for Freeman. Hobbo battling with Ladder. Come back to this one. Looks like Hobbo's got himself through. We'll jump back on this man, Thomas Freeman. And that was a great race win. A little bit of a tap there at the end. Yeah, that was a great race win there for Thomas Freeman. James Scott brings it home second. Damien Johnstone third. By the looks, fourth will be James Chastanoof. Going to hold off. And we've got
Sorry, Tom. I didn't mean to ram you then.
Brenton Hobson.
Another lap to go and you just hit your ankle.
The boys still chugging along here. Kenny Ladder going to bring it home in sixth and in seventh.
Copy 027.
We have Blake Delaney, Ben Morris,
Sorry,
Jordan
Tom,
Ross,
I
and
thought
what's
we had another lap to go. You just hit the brakes.
have a look.
Yeah, sorry.
What's going on here? Might be unsafe rejoin maybe from
No,
Dengate.
you're right. Just not healed, mate.
Yep, that's what it'll be. That's all that one is. Heard Jamie talking about. What we might do is we might just quickly go to an ad break and then we will have a chat to our race podium place and driver of the day.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
And people who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small. And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name. Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super.
Well, we'll have a quick look at the results. Get them up and coming up, so won't worry about that. Wait here in the green room, see who wants to come and talk to me. So basically, Thomas Freeman has won the race by a lovely commanding 6-second lead from James Scott. James, of course, back from a break. And then we had Damien Johnstone and James Chastaneef in fourth. A great drive by Chasty. And then Brenton Hobson, Kenny Ladder, Blake Delaney bringing it home in seventh. Eighth was Ben Morris. Nice recovery from an early incident. Michael Angus was after Jordan Ross, Christian Smart. Michael Angus is 11th. Zach McDonald is 12th. Jimmy Mulford brings it home in 13th. Then Paul Young, Jamie McKnight, Harrison Dengate ends up 16th. Scotty McCune, Michael Stewart, Warren Davis, Chris Funky Miller, Dave Kirby, Craig Schultz, Troy Maguire, Dave Coleman, Roy Clark. That rounds out our podium positions. So good drives from a few of the boys there. So yeah, that sums up our night pretty well much for this week. So what we might do is let's wait and see if anyone comes and talks to me. And as we do that, next week, of course, we have a Coda West hoedown. So 2 times 80k races from Coda West. Now that's a tough track to race around for sprints. So we can see how the boys go around that one. And round 10 is the Fuji Flash, 200k's there. And then we've got Daytona Night Race, 300k's. And to finish off the season, we have another enduro, another 300k enduro at Sandown. So still plenty of races to come. As we'll bring into the combox the man that was in third, Damien Johnstone. Congratulations on P3, Damien.
Yeah, thanks, mate. And welcome back. Good to see you with the broadcast up.
Yeah, yeah, it's nice to be home for a change after the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So how'd you find that one?
The race was pretty good. Good fun with J Ross at the start there, and then it just become boring, to be honest. Just run by myself. So good job to Tom. Mega pace he seems found there. So good job.
Yeah, speaking of Tom, you got to be pretty happy with that one, mate. That was sort of thinking that James is going to come back at you after those pit stops, but you sort of ran away and actually stretched it out a little bit.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Yeah, whenever you beat James on raw pace, I think you can't be unhappy with anything how it went. But yeah, it was. I came back later in that first stint, and I thought maybe I'd underfueled the car when I come out so far in front. I don't know if he overfueled the car or what happened there. If he had made a mistake, but yeah, it was that buffer. My first 5 lap speed is nowhere near what the fast boys do at all, but it seems that I'm a bit more kinder on my tyres, so that gap when he came out of pits definitely helped me, and then once the gap evened out with the speed, I think I was just able to hold a constant pace, so it was really good.
Yeah, there's actually 5 seconds difference in pit stop between yours and his.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yep.
Yeah, and I think yours was a fraction under everyone else. So yeah, I was a bit worried you might not have had enough fuel, but you managed to make it work. So
yeah, I was the same there when I come out so far in front, but it was all good.
That's all right. Of course, with Fishy, you got a long list of sponsors, so I'll give you a chance to give a shout out to them.
Yeah, cheers, boys. And thanks to you guys as well for putting up the stream. It's always cool, and I know the old man and old lady, they watch it too. With sponsors here, just Parramatta Professional, MJS Gaming, DC Shades. We've got West End West End Motor Group, and just the Fishy Motorsports and Mike for taking me on, and yeah, hopefully, we can get more, top end results and battle these boys. They're always quick, so yeah, shout out to SSR as well.
Of course, it's like we're not going to get James, so it's going to be up to you, Damien, to do the SSR shout-outs.
Oh, great. Now we've got Wave Runner Performance Centre, West End Motor Group, Too Easy Finance, Smith & Sons. Yeah, there's so many JK signs, but just good to see you back, John. And well done to Tom and the Fishy Boys. So they should be really proud of that.
Absolutely. It's a nice one to come back to. Of course, Mark's not back for a couple of weeks. He's laying on a beach in the sun in Thailand somewhere. But I will.
Oh, nice.
But I will be back next week. Of course, so next week we're at Coda West, which will be an interesting these sprints around there because I've been doing some practice for vets and it's not the most enjoyable track in a V8. But anyway, got to go where they go, and I think everyone's going to be in for a good race anyway, being sprints.
Yeah, that's it. It'll be good, like always. Hopefully we can see some points update because I'm getting pretty nervous where I'm sitting at the moment. I think I'm at the front somewhere, but obviously we've got the fast guys coming forward. So
cricket season ends in a couple of weeks. Actually, I have plenty of time to start doing that stuff again. And of course, James has just dropped in to join us as well, the man that was in P2. How are you, James?
Yeah, not bad, mate. How are you?
Not too bad. That was an interesting one, mate. Or did you take on too much fuel by chance?
No, I was pretty much coughing as I crossed the line, so I don't know what happened there.
Yeah. Stop was 5 seconds longer than.
Yeah, I had
Tom's.
to. I don't know if you saw on the broadcast. I had to save a heap on the last lap. I was only about 0.7 of a lap left when I crossed the line for the last lap, so mega save on the last lap. So yeah, don't know what happened.
That's those Fishy Boys making petrol out of water.
Yeah, seems like it.
Anyway, good to have you back, mate. Anyway, I've probably been as as long as you have now, but anyway.
Yeah, it's good to be back on the sim. Had a month off while on holiday, so yeah, I don't know, just never liked this track. I don't know, should end up like Oran Park and build some houses on it, in my opinion. But yeah, wouldn't be missed. But yeah, I don't know, just haven't enjoyed it racing this week. So hopefully we'll go to a better track. Yeah.
Coda West next week, so fingers crossed it's better.
Yeah. There's a reason the V8s only went there once.
Yeah.
True. Anyway, on that note, guys, we might say goodbye to everybody, and we'll see everybody again at 10 to 8 next Tuesday night. And thanks again to our sponsors, and thanks again to all the guys that are driving and race control. And yeah, and don't forget, season 6 entries has now opened. So if you're interested in getting into it, make sure you get onto Ash or get onto the Facebook page, and we'll try and get the information up for you. So on that note, good night all.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
They talk about their cars, sing about their cars. Some people even look like their car. Whether it's an old car, new old car, fast car, family car, electric car, race car, two-wheel car, no-wheel car, or a car you know's parked around here somewhere. People who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small. Some people tinker some degree between those two variables.
Whose voice is that?
And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name.
It's Kevin.
Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super. Because super is our middle name. Well, technically it's our first.